Yep.
What's up, Couyons? Back with another video. Not quite a review.
Comparison.
We're doing a comparison. Randy was down, so I figured I got 4 bottles of New Riff. We have a single barrel, 4-year aged barrel proof bottle bourbon. We got the 8-year 100 proof bourbon. We have the 8-year 100 proof rye, and then we have the 6-year malted rye finished sherry cask. Finished in
Sherry finished barrel proof.
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, I didn't know New Riff until you had all these. I didn't even know they had that kind of lineup already. Like New Riff seems like a fairly newer, distillery, bourbon, distillery. A lot of bourbon stills that's already out don't even have that much variety for whiskey already. So
yeah. So you can go back and look at our channel if you like. I already have a review of this up, and I have a review of the malted rye, not this sherry cask. So obviously have a lot of work to do on getting actual reviews on this. This is not a review today, though. This is just a comparison. We'll talk about it a little bit. We've got a little note thing down here. We are doing this blind, by the way. So this is A, B, C, D. Same thing on this side. My wife, who is hiding behind the camera over there, is set all of this up. There's numbers obviously underneath here. She knows what's in each, and we do not. So we'll talk about them. Have a favorite towards the end, and then I guess we'll find out what it is.
start off with A.
All right. A, it is. I'm gonna have a Bayou Side liquor glass. Utilize them like literally every Glencairn I have. Oh, I think this is a rye.
See, I was thinking opposite, but maybe so.
The New Riffs, though, like we was just saying a second ago, before camera, they are a high rye mash bill on the bourbon. So this particular bottle right here, is 65 corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley. So
high rye bourbons. So even if you're getting a bourbon, it's still high rye. So I could see this being a rye too, though. This would be a hard one. There's grassy notes in it.
Yeah, it's definitely grassy. I think this is a rye. Now, I don't think it's the sherry cask. I think it's this right off the bat. Now, I am the only one who's had at least, they're my bottles, so I've had a little bit of all of them. Randy has never had any of these, so.
Straight up line.
In the past, you've had a barrel proof.
I've had a few bottles of the barrel proof bourbon.
All right.
Grassy.
Just grassy. Yeah. Grassy, sweet, a little caramel. Oh, dude, I don't know. Maybe that is it's a little too grassy, I think, to be the malted rye. That malted, it really kind of just brings it down. Makes it more, like I said, Scotch-like.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. It is grassy. I'll give it that one.
It's also very clean, not harsh. I think this is the 8-year.
Oh. I found the sherry one.
Found a Smith. All right.
That's going to be.
Going to be. Let me.
That's definitely.
Oh yeah, I want to mark what I think that is. All right, so I'm gonna call that 8-year rye.
First note I got from this one. berries, sherry.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll be surprised, but we'll see what happens.
It's very subdued. There's still grassiness to it, but it's definitely balanced down.
That's definitely a rye.
It's smooth, it's creamy. Caramel there. Just off the nose, I think you're right. This is definitely the sherry.
Yeah. Even on the flavor, like it's definitely a rye. It's more rye than the first one. That might even be one of the bourbons, I know.
We'll see as we go down the list. I mean, we might have to change up here and there. Be like my notes all scribbled, scratched, and all over the place.
B's definitely the sherry barrel proof rye. That's what I'm going with. Cause like I had a lot of sherry scotches. And
You tried it yet?
Oh yeah.
I was nosing it.
All right, I tried it. It's got the sherry notes. It's more rye than the other one.
See, I found the rye is very subdued with it, but you get
subdued,
the sherry.
Yeah, it's subdued. You get the spiciness, the grassiness from it.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. I love it.
It's good. I like that. I like B better than A, but that's just so far. I like B better than A.
Light grass. All right.
All right, let's go to C.
C it is. I'm gonna do the Magnificent Bastard glass. Okay. That to me is definitely bourbon. Now, this might be the harder one to figure out. Is it the 8-year or is it the single barrel proof?
See, I think different, man. I think this is more rye than this one.
I don't know. I bet you knows that other one you'd think different.
Well, that's why I save a little bit in there. I'm gonna save a little bit just to kind of compare and contrast.
That fucking Cajun cockiness confidence right now, I'm telling you. It's got rye in it. It's just
that's rye, dude. That's the
oh fuck, you might be right.
This is the 8-year rye, and this is a bourbon.
This smells like bourbon now. I don't know.
I'm telling you.
That's super strong.
It would surprise the hell out of me. But this is the 8-year rye. Let's see.
You tried it yet?
Oh yeah. It's spicy. It's rye. It's 8 years.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
It's good though. I mean, I don't like a whole lot of ryes, but I like that one. It's good.
Dude, if this is a bourbon, that's got a lot of rye notes on that bourbon.
It's a high rye bourbon. That's why I said it'd be hard to figure it out.
That's a lot of rye notes.
It's a good taste comparison to try to find out which one's which, because it's a high rye bourbon. Even though this is bourbon, I'm thinking it doesn't taste barrel proof, but I could be wrong. This is either the 8-year bourbon.
On the nose, I thought this was more bourbon-esque, but tasting it, it's definitely more rye.
Yeah.
I think this is lower proof, though. I think this is the 8-year bourbon. I'm sorry, the 8-year rye.
Yeah.
Tasting it.
Yeah.
The nose is deceiving. All right, so 8-year bourbon. 8-year.
See, the issue is going to be the last one to figure out what this is. So.
Nose is bourbon-like.
Your dog is snoozing.
Dude, I don't know what it is. Every time I do videos, he's right there snoring along. And it's not so bad yet.
I think I figured him out.
Alright. Now we're going to D, right?
You ready?
Let's get it. Dude, it's
a bourbon. It's a high rye bourbon.
I'm all confused. Cause like it's so subtle now. Like
that's the barrel proof. I
would think that this was the barrel proof based off of what we have here, but the nose is not very strong.
I got them all, man. I'll tell you what I think after you taste it. That's good. I've had the barrel proof plenty of times, and it's really good.
Okay, on the nose, I don't think it's the barrel proof, but
Me either.
on the taste, you could definitely taste the alcohol proof there. And it's not a big difference. I believe the barrel proof is right at 114.9 or 115.
It's not much more.
So all of these are in the same ballpark.
So initially, I thought A was a rye, but A, I'm going to say, is the 8-year bourbon, 100 proof. B, I'm going with the sherry cask rye cask strength, or barrel proof sherry rye, because I tasted sherry notes in B. C is the 8-year rye, 100 proof, and D is the barrel proof bourbon.
I'm agreeing with you on all of them, and I think it's just because the first one we had at A was our first drink or something like that. We got a lot of the rye notes.
I'm gonna tell you why, because we've had a couple of bourbons before we did this, and none of them were high rye. So this one tasted like a rye, but it's not. It's a bourbon. It's a high rye bourbon.
I forgot to mention that. I think in that last video was like, man, I was getting no rye notes at all on that Elmer T. Lee bottle.
Yeah, I think we.
It was something that I wanted to say, and then we started talking about something else, and I forgot. But I think this is definitely the barrel proof. It stands out.
So all right. So out of all of them, we kind of think the same thing on this. We didn't differ on that, right?
No.
So what do you think is your favorite one out of all of them you had? Notes, all wise, like what was your favorite notes on it? And what was your favorite whiskey?
I think I'm gonna go B as my favorite, but C is, I don't know. Let me run through them again real quick. I think C might be my number 2 on here. I really like A too, man. The nose on A is probably the best.
Yeah, A's really good.
The nose on A is like really.
Dude, D is down and dirty. If you're a bourbon drinker and you like just straight bourbon, D is down and dirty.
If it is how we say it is, like D, I won't say give it the best review, but not the worst. But it all depends. You can watch the video.
I like D, man.
I think, B is fucking all around just fantastic. C is just straight up fucking rye, harsh. It's good though, really good. It's really rye.
Man, this might be a little bit. No.
And D is definitely.
That's the way I think it.
I don't know. I think D might be the better bourbon. Or are we thinking A is the other bourbon, right?
I'm thinking it. My personal thing, I think A is the 8-year bourbon.
Yeah. Which one is the better bourbon?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Is it?
It depends on if you like
smooth or harsh.
Age or proof. 8 is a lower proof. It's got a little bit more subtleness to it. It's more refined. It's 8 years old.
Easier to drink. It's smoother.
This is probably around about 4 years old for the barrel proof, roughly. But it is. It's higher proof.
This is 4. This is 8. This is 8, and this is at least 6.
It's higher proof, but it's got a little bit more ass to it. But it doesn't have the refinement of this 8 year. So it depends on what you like in a bourbon.
I like both, but in my personal preference, I like the harsher hit of the other one a little bit more. So, I'm going to go, this is number 1. I think I'm going to go 4 on this, for sure. Question is, do I like A or D more?
I got mine.
This is 2 and this is 3.
All right. Which ones you got?
All right, Melissa.
All right. A is the 8-year bourbon.
Got it.
B is the malted rye.
Got it.
C is the regular rye, the 8-year rye.
8-year rye.
And D is the 4-year single.
Okay, so we guessed them all right?
Yeah.
All right, so as we went through it, we picked them all out as per what they are. I have the malted rye as my number 1. You have it as your number 2. I have the 8-year bourbon as my number 2. You have it as your number 1. So we flip flopped, but
that just comes to the terms of I'm not a big rye fan.
Yeah.
But even though I'm a big sherry fan, that's why it's at my number 2 over this barrel proof bourbon, which I really like.
My number 1 is your number 2, and your number 2 is my number 1. So that's pretty good right there.
Yeah.
Now the other part, the bourbon proof,
barrel proof
bourbon proof.
Yeah. Same
We
thing.
both have it as 3, and we both have the 8-year rye as number 4. And I think the 8-year rye at number 4 mainly just comes down to how grassy and harsh that it maybe is, even at an 8-year.
It's super rye, man.
It is super rye.
Yeah.
And this bottle, let's see, it's 95% rye, 5% malted rye. So it has, the non-sherry cask version of that in there, which is also a 6-year. Like I said, we have a review on that as well.
I think the rye gave itself away, though. So, even though it's a high... So
this one gave itself away.
When we initially had the first one, you was like...
That was rye.
Oh, that's a rye. I was like, I was like Lee Corso.
But, I mean...
Not so fast, my friend.
That's what this is. It's
right.
65 corn, 30 rye,
Yeah.
5% malted barley.
Right.
So...
I was like, man, thinking like...
That rye really stands out in it.
This is a high rye bourbon. So, going off the nose, like, yeah, it might come off rye, but let me taste the other ones. And after we tasted the other ones, like, oh, this is clearly just a high rye bourbon. Because this, compared to this, super rye on this C, which is the 8-year rye. So,
well,
good comparison.
It's hard to kind of like right off the bat, like, okay, this is that bottle. But as you drink them, you could kind of figure it out.
Yeah, we did do a comparison on Maker's Mark, and that blew my mind. Because, like, the Maker's Mark cast strength versus the stave finish,
yeah,
that threw me off.
The bottle that you thought you would like,
yeah,
and versus the one that you didn't like was the exact opposite.
Right.
And the exact opposite in which way the one that I thought I would like is not the one that I ended up liking. Like, we were crisscross on which one we liked more. It was really cool review.
This one was it is a good comparison. I think we got we got them all right as far as, like, it's Ryes versus the bourbons, and then ones we like. I mean, it just comes to personal opinion on that point. So
yeah, well, I, at this point too, like, we literally matched everything. The only thing we flipped off on is 1 and 2, which one we like more.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, that 8-year bourbon is pretty damn good, and like the fact that it has all those rye notes in it too is it's awesome.
That's the personal preference.
I love that malted rye though. I think it's just so smooth, so it balances out very well.
My favorite part about that is the sherry of it.
Yeah, the sherry, but I find it drinks kind of like Scotch-esque, like it's very just smooth and very well balanced.
That's why I like it. I like sherry cask bourbon, sherry cask Scotch, sherry. You know what I'm saying, like sherry cask Scotch, Bunnahabhain.
That's definitely the less harsh of anything.
Yeah,
it is definitely more rounded of all of them.
But it's good.
But
good comparison.
I think that's it, man. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see y'all on the next video.
Yeah.